it's a high bar to meet, you know.
That's fair.
We were just watching the little video that you told me about of EDC Chicago. How long ago was that? How was that experience?
That was fun. You know, we only had one EDC Chicago.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think they were eating, like, yeah, tell me more about that.
I'm not really sure why it never happened again, but it was out in a suburb. I think it was in Aurora, so it wasn't in Chicago proper.
Oh, okay, yeah, true. I guess it would be tough to throw unless they went to like Grant Park where Lollapalooza is or something.
Right, yeah, that amount of people. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think it was also in sort of a funky time of year because Chicago really only has about 3 months where you can concretely say, I know the weather is going to be good.
Right.
And it was in a period of the year where it was a little dicey, and I remember one of the days being pretty cold, and
oh shit,
waking up wearing 2 jackets. Yeah, it was a lot.
Yeah, traditional rave uniforms are not specifically designed for polar vortex Chicago weather.
Oh, quite the opposite, actually.
I feel like starting the combo off with your Chicago roots is kind of a fun place to start. What was it actually like for you growing up? You did grow up in that area, right? You're like native to the city.
Oh yeah, it's pretty crazy because where I live right now, if you go maybe a half a mile that way, if you can see through the internet.
Yes, I can totally see it that way.
That's where my grade school is. And I'm very close to high school, and I went to college here, so I really just, born and raised, never left.
Are kids from the Chicago area raised on house music the way that kids in South Florida like me were raised on Miami bass?
I think when I was coming up, they were.
Yeah.
But now I don't know that there's as much of a distinct Chicago house community the way that there was maybe a generation ago. There's certainly I mean, it's very vibrant, but it's a little more all over the map. We've got a thriving techno scene.
Yeah.
We've got, wonderful up and comers in dubstep and even electro, and in house people like Birthday Party.
Yeah,
they're amazing, and still have the mainstays like Gene Ferris that are crushing it.
I know. Talk to me
people
about
like Yummy Too.
People like who?
Sorry, Yummy Too.
Oh yeah, Yummy Too. I know. Shout out. I love the story of how like one of the first Flostradamus post-trap blow-ups, they like almost caused a riot at a show in Chicago. Everyone was just going so damn hard.
I don't know about that.
That's what I heard, girl.
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me.
Wait, but talk to me about, like, your parents are pretty into music, right? Or they were at least really cool with you being, like, a sweet young raver thing.
Yeah. That's interesting. It's really, I don't know, talking with Josh and Yummy Too, being friends with him now, it's crazy because he has a wife and children.
Yeah.
We're adults, right?
I love his live streams with his wife, like in the kitchen. Though that's so cute.
And he taught her how to DJ, and she's amazing.
That's awesome! Yeah. Yay! Teach your spouses to DJ.
Yeah, back when events were a thing.
I know. Forever and a day ago.
They did a series of events together called Mom and Dad.
Oh, that's so cute. Chicago has like such great events and such great people in its scene, including yourself.
Thank you.
Shout out Shy. Shout out the Chicago t-shirt. I love the repping.
Are you really wearing a Chicago shirt?
Oh, no, you are. I wish I was.
Yeah, no, I love this shirt. It's by a local company called Juggernaut.
Ooh.
They're a Chicago streetwear brand, and this was for the Red Bull Music Festival that happened a couple of years ago.
Oh, so cool. I love everything Red Bull does.
I know, right?
Mm-hmm. They're the best company.
Yeah, I loved the design of the shirt, and of course, this is sort of my ethos, is Chicago everywhere.
Exactly. So wait. I'm trying to get you to tell me about your young rave days in Chicago. Like back when you were raised on house, what was it like in the city when you were first discovering dance music? And what was like the first party you went to? And give me all the juicy details.
Oh man. Well, the first party that I went to, I was dating a raver at the time.
Nice.
And I remember going over to his apartment, and his roommate had a box of candy, and I had never seen it before. And so I asked him all these questions. I'm like, what is this? What are these flyers? Tell me about this. And so he started telling me about parties, and he seems a little exasperated, like he doesn't want to share that with me. I don't know. And, so I was like, I have to go. I want to go to one of these things. And I borrowed a pair of Jinkos from his roommate, so I could feel like I fit in.
Totally. That's the best way, at least in that time period.
Right? If your pants can't house at least 3 people, what are you even doing?
Yeah, totally. That's how you sneak your friends in who don't have tickets. You're just like, come on, get in here. Who was playing that first party? Was it local DJs?
I honestly don't remember who played that first party. What I do remember is that when I walked in, within 5 minutes of being at that party, this girl came up to me who was wearing angel wings and was like, Dani, I haven't seen you in so long. I can't believe I ran into you here, and tries to give me this big hug. And it took a minute for my brain to put the pieces together, but it was my bully from grade school.
Shut up. Oh my gosh.
That was wild.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
She was obviously full of love in that moment, though. That's good. Bullies learn.
Yes, exactly. So that was the thing that stuck out the most to me. And honestly, the vibe that I got that night was, I guess, to backtrack a little bit for some context, I was not a very popular person in school, and I went to a very small school. So my grade in grade school probably only had 30 kids or so.
Wow.
In high school, my graduating class was 92 or 93 people.
Wow. Oh my gosh, that's like TV school where everyone knows each other. I never thought that was real until I got older.
If you didn't fit in, there was nowhere for you to hide.
Yeah.
And that made it really difficult, especially when I had people that were actively doing things to make my experience more difficult.
Yeah.
And so going to that party, that was the first time where I felt a sense of not escapism, but a sense of belonging with other people that had this sense of not fitting in anywhere else.
That's so cool. Yeah, that's what I think is so nice about the rave scene. Like, the weirder and freakier you are, it's all good, man. Like, this flies.
Yeah, so I fell in love with it. I mean, obviously, I love the music, but I can't divide the sense of community and belonging from that music. To me, they're one and the same.
100% agreed. How did you just dove into it from then on? Were you like going to raves every week?
As much as I could. Yeah, I definitely fell into it hard. I was taking buses and the Blue Line train to go to parties every weekend in some random basement and the fringes of the city. And this was back when you had to go to a physical store to get a physical flyer so you could call an info line and get the information. And sometimes even the address that you get wouldn't even be the final address, and the check-in point, so that you would get the final address, because at that time a lot of raves were being busted by the police.
Yeah.
And we have the Rave Act.
Fucking Joe Biden. What was it like to have that all breaking down around you? Like, how long would a party go? Could you at least get to the good part before it got busted? I guess it depended.
It definitely depended. I found that the parties I would go to in the city were a lot smaller and way more clandestine. You would not know. If you were outside of that building, just passing by, you had no idea what's going on inside.
Wow.
They to make it as overt as possible.
That's
and then the bigger parties were outside of the city in suburbs at roller rinks, or there was a laser tag arena that was pretty popular for a while.
Yes, laser tag rave. Yes.
Right?
That's my dream.
Yeah. So the bigger ones, you would go outside of the city and you had a better shot of making it all the way through. But I mean, I definitely remember a SWAT team coming in on one.
Shit.
My 18th birthday party,
this is the story I want.
I should have known. So for my 18th birthday, my parents asked what I wanted, and I said I wanted to throw a rave. And they had a big warehouse building because my parents at the time owned a commercial production company, so they just needed stages and space. And
cool.
So they had 3 separate stages in this building, but then they also had all of this unnecessary space because they had to purchase the plot, and the plot was almost like an entire city block.
Damn, going big on 18.
Yeah, exactly. So they let me have one of the stages that was accessible through the parking lot, so people wouldn't have to go through the building. And I booked a bunch of house artists, all my favorite people. We had flyers drawn up. There was a suggested donation at the door, which was how we got around some of the legalities.
Nice, yeah.
And the cops came in and busted the party about midway through. Even though, I mean, I didn't know any better at the time. I'm like just a crying 18-year-old. There,
you're like, I can go to jail now. No.
And they made everyone sit against the wall, and they were checking everyone's IDs. And then bless my mom, she's so smart and she's so ferocious. She was like, screw this. They shouldn't have even been able to come in to begin with. And it's true. They should have had a warrant.
Yeah.
It was private property. And they just assumed that it probably wasn't.
Oh, yeah, because they were in charge.
Yeah, my parents took them to court and won and got the ticket dismissed.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
The first of so many wins in Dani's life, Dani's career.
Yeah, got it from my mama.
Right? That's how you take everyone down. That's the energy. Zach in the chat is saying yes. Yeah. Big absolute queen shit.
I know. Yeah. My mom even got Richard Roper to write a column about it.
Shut up. Do you still have that? Like a little paper cutout on the fridge somewhere?
My mom probably has it somewhere in storage.
You got to pull that one out for the gram.
For sure. So, yeah. I mean, go her. It was an expensive ticket. It was a $10,000 ticket.
Damn. Yo, take it to court. Yeah, that was the right move.
For sure.
Smart. Where along all this timeline did you learn to DJ? Like, did you DJ your 18th birthday party rave, or was that before you got behind the decks?
I was definitely learning in high school. I would go to Gramophone Records and spend my allowance there. I would take the 22 bus, the park bus, up to Gramophone Records and crate dig. And of course, the records were so expensive, right? A single record was $8, $12, $15, and you're getting one song, maybe B-side.
Right,
Yeah, so I would have to portion things out, and I would hide records in different parts of the store if I couldn't afford them that week.
Yeah.
I was playing at home and also at a friend's house, because the only turntables we had at our house were really terrible belt drive Newmark tables. Friends of mine had very nice direct drive turntables, and so I would cart my records over there and practice at their house. But the only reason why I became a professional DJ was because a friend of mine thought that I had promise, and he booked me for a party without telling me, because he thought that I wouldn't have the impetus to do that for myself.
Wow. Oh my God. Did you just like shit bricks when you found out? What happened?
That's pretty accurate. Yeah.
Were you like already at the club and you're like, who's opening? Your friend's like, you are, get up there.
Girl, it was not at a club. It was at an abandoned hunting lodge in the middle of nowhere, Illinois.
Oh, wow.
I remember I got lost driving there, and I had to pull over and go into like the small town bar where it's just populated by, just local folks, right?
Yeah. People who just want to drink their beer in quiet silence.
And I come in with all of my candy and everything. And I'm asking them for directions. They were just so, I don't know, they were stunned with me. Right?
That's so cool.
I was so nervous when I was playing at that party. I remember the first record, I just ran out of song because my neck was shaking so bad I couldn't beat match on the tables. And everybody in the room knew it was my first gig, and they were very supportive, and they were cheering me on. And so I just started the song again and made it through the set.
I love that attitude. That's what I did earlier today when I tried to play my intro and it wasn't loaded. See, you just gotta go for it.
The rule of live streaming is even if you have everything set up correctly, something's bound to fail.
Yo, I feel that. I feel that, girl, in my soul right here. It's okay though. We're all learning. Your live streams have been dope.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone's getting a slight taste of your background there. Just a tiny bit of the jungle.
I know. We fluctuate between calling this our Tiger King compound, and it's also, I feel like there's a lot of Bamboo Island vibes from Animal Crossing.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. And
a little Jurassic Park. You can't see the dinosaur, but there's a T-Rex cut up.
It's cool because if anyone watching at home isn't aware, Dani and her husband just have these things laying around at home. This is just like how they live.
Very lucky. Okay, first of all, though, I thought it was really funny. Multiple people have complimented me on my plants and their health. And I'm like,
oh my God.
I'm like, I appreciate that you have that much faith in me, but no, these are from IKEA.
Can you imagine? Everyone would be like in the chat, like, yo, how do I save my whatever? How do I save my dying fern?
Right? No, it's just finding what you have. I really feel like a lot of it is just packing stuff in,
Yeah.
I've had people in my chat actually go and buy this because they've seen it and they really like it.
Is it a light?
Yeah, it's a light.
Oh, so cute.
I hit it. It cycles between colors.
I love it. Little Nico light.
And it's just a little $12 gadget that you can buy on Amazon, but it adds so much personality.
That's so cool.
Stuff like that, or the Hamburger Bank has a couple of fans.
It's like almost a Hamburglar. It's just a hamburger with eyes, I guess.
Yes.
That's cool. Is that where the tips go in Twitch? All your tips go straight into your little Hamburglar bank?
That's right. They go straight there. Mm-hmm. I can hear the clink.
Speaking of tips, on Twitter the other day, I really liked that you asked a question of the internet-verse about how artists may be able to approach the question of making money during coronavirus. You yourself have been affected, had a bunch of tour dates set up, and then all of a sudden couldn't go DJ those shows. Could you talk to me a little bit about what it's been like for you as a performer to handle this situation? What's been working, and what have others brought to your attention?
I feel like everybody is really in the same awful place trying to figure this out together. Mm-hmm. And that's one thing that I think is really interesting about the music industry compared to other industries that have been similarly impacted is I feel like there's a lot of group effort with trying to figure out solutions. Companies collaborating with each other, management companies collaborating with each other.
Yeah.
In a space where usually they would be competitors.
Yeah. That's good. To see people come together, and not just be fighting.
Right. Like SoundCloud and Bandcamp partnered with Twitch to offer a program to fast track musicians to affiliate status.
Oh, cool.
They both have forms set up, and if you have a certain account on SoundCloud, or if you have a certain amount of trackers on bands in town, then you can fill out this form and hopefully get your affiliate status within like 5 to 7 days without having to meet all of this criteria that you normally would have to.
Right.
And that's what worked for me. I filled out the SoundCloud form, and got my affiliate status about 5 days later.
Yeah, because otherwise, if someone watching doesn't know, on Twitch to get affiliated, you need to have so many streams in a month-long period. You need to have so many average viewers and a few other metrics that you're supposed to tick off, so many followers. And at that point is when you're able to start making money via subscriptions, bits, little things like that. If anyone tries to send me a tip and they're like, but it told me to try to buy bites or something like that. A bunch of my friends have said that. I'm like, they're bits. I don't know. It's a weird Twitch money thing.
Just their currency, their in-app currency. Yeah. But yeah, so that's been really nice to see. I definitely think that the people who aren't truly indie, that have at least a manager that is on retainer. So maybe the artist that where their manager works at, like a 2+2 or red light management or these bigger companies where these people are still getting paid. Maybe their salaries are cut, but they have a team that can still functionally operate.
Yeah.
Those artists are succeeding in a space where I think it's a lot harder for someone who's truly indie to poke through and get opportunities. Because I think there's probably a reason, when you think about it, when you see all these live stream festivals, that certain names keep popping up over and over and over again. Mm-hmm. And that's because people have help.
Yeah, totally. I know. Help is a big deal. I'm doing it all myself.
And how much time does that take up?
Yo, it takes up time. It does not happen overnight or in an instant. Like, it takes real work to even just set all this stuff up. And every day is a new chance to do a little bit better. But yeah. And some of these DJs got these sick overlays now and everything. Like,
yeah, some people have really been popping. One of my favorite people to watch is 4Color Zach.
Oh, yes. He's so good.
He's really good on camera. He's very good at interacting with the audience. Mm-hmm. And he's not, so like, I have a microphone, but it's a loose stage mic. And he's got one that's on a stand so that he can just lean over and talk to everybody and still get his thing. And I'm also finding that I'm enjoying watching the open format DJs a lot more than I would normally like them if I went to a club.
Yeah. Actually, that's an interesting subject to bring up. I feel that all these DJs who, in a crowd scenario, felt the need to play to that crowd and play songs that they knew they liked or kind of hit the trends that everyone was hitting at that time. Now, even because you maybe do a couple streams a week, you're finding DJs being more fluid, doing special type sets. You did a blog house set the other day, which felt like it was just for me. Thank you. Like, how has it changed what you do as a DJ?
Also, I mean, yeah, so many people.
Swivel this way just a little bit too. Sorry.
Which way?
The other way. There it is. There's your beautiful face. No, the first way. You're beautiful. I love you. Thank you.
Yeah, I don't know. Left, right, 50-50 shot, I get
exactly. What were we saying? No.
Genres. Yes. So you're totally correct in that. I know that going back to Yemi too, he's been doing crazy sets every week. He did a spa set last week, which feels like something we would be super into. And then I know that Riot 10 has been doing some house sets, which is not normally in his lane. And I think part of it is just to save our own sanity.
Yeah.
Because if you're touring, even if you're playing the same-ish sort of set, there's all of this other stimuli that's different, right? Mm-hmm. You're going to a different city, you're going to a different hotel, you're meeting up with people, there's all of this extra stuff that happens. And it makes the experience more different, and then you're playing to a different audience, right? Yeah. And that's a whole. So it makes it, even if you're playing a song that you played 3 weeks in a row, that experience is different every single time because all this extra stuff surrounding it.
Exactly.
But now, if I'm playing every week, it's all the same. It's the same room.
Yeah.
I mean, the people in chat are certainly different. The people that tune in, but I can't see them. I can't see that. It took me a while, honestly, to get used to even just play to a camera and look interesting.
Right. You were telling me a little bit about this. You're like, I don't know what to do with my hands.
I became very self-aware, and it definitely it took a while for me to feel fluid with communicating to what felt like a dead space. And it wasn't. It was actually very vibrant, and I had to figure out a way to connect and to convey that.
What way has helped you in service to that goal?
So I've got when I stream, my laptop is here on my desk, and then I use my phone as my camera, and that's set up like over here-ish. But then that means that I don't have access to a device where I can just see the chat because my phone is in use.
Oh, yeah.
I've tried setting up my laptop on top of one of the speakers so that I can lean over and type, but then that's also super awkward because then I'm going out of frame and I'm leaning over and I'm reaching and typing.
Yeah.
Away from the experience. It's too much of an interruption. So if I had a bunch of spare phones, and he gave me one, I'm using a secondary phone that I keep on the mixer, and I have that open to my Twitch stream with the chat. And then I sometimes will type back and answer, but I try to as much as possible give people shout outs on the mic.
Yeah.
Vocal and responses. And I found that people actually don't mind a lot of frequent chatting over the music. I really thought in the beginning I would try to keep it as minimal as possible because you wouldn't do that in a club scenario, right?
Right.
The more DJs on the mic, typically the more annoyed people get.
Yeah. DJ Khaled is a great example of that.
Right? Yes. There's only so many times you can hear him say his own name.
Yeah.
But with this scenario, I don't know why the dynamic is different, but people, I feel, are more forgiving or invite more of a conversation over the music and don't mind the frequent interruptions.
Yeah, well, because you know what? It makes me feel like when you're hanging out with your friend in their house and your friend's a DJ and they just decide to start spinning some tunes and you're having some drinks in the house and you're just hanging out, you're just having fun. It's not quite like a house party vibe, but more like, oh, we're just hanging out, listening to tunes. My friend's a dope DJ. Everyone's in the room with you, and it's chill.
That's true. Yeah, it does. Maybe that's what it is. It feels more casual and it feels more intimate. And I think house party vibe is pretty spot on. There was a point you were actually in the chat for the last stream that I did, and there was. Do you remember the girl that was from London? That was very.
Oh my God, she was a riot and a half. This girl kept being like, it's 3 a.m. here. Should I go to sleep? I don't know. I'm just going to get another shot. Who's going to the bar with me? I gave her a shitty accent. Sorry to her.
I loved that she was typing out all of her actions. Like, who else wants a shot? And people were typing in what shots they were going to have and playing along with the narrative.
I was loving it.
She said at one point that she wished she could have subscribed, but she had already subbed to a few other people and had spent money, and somebody in chat was just like and gifted her a subscription.
I saw that. That's plur on the internet for real.
That was so cool. That to me was probably one of the coolest things that I've had happen in my Twitch channel so far. I just thought that was really neat that this stranger went out of their way to do that for this person.
Totally. I wish I could remember her screen name right now. She was so cool. Shout her out. She's out there somewhere. I think she and I are Twitch friends now as well, which was pretty fun. Yeah, hopefully I run into her again some weird Twitch room on your dance floor. You stream every Sunday, right?
Huh?
You stream every Sunday, right?
Yeah, I'm sure she'll be there on Sunday.
She is. Not sleeping.
She was leading the room vibe for sure.
I know, she was great. How else do you see the industry adapting? I've seen Bandcamp on the first Friday of every month, I believe, is giving all the proceeds when you buy music to the artist, which is really awesome. I've even seen some artists releasing things special on that day to kind of entice fans. And you were working with bands in town on the Network Festival, which I want to hear about too. But
yeah, we'll circle back to that. because I have so many thoughts. I think that's almost too broad of a thing to say how is the music industry going to change, because it is already tectonically shifted.
In such a short time span, too.
Yes, it has. I'm looking up in Twitter because one of my friends sent me a DM the other week asking me something similar. He said, in regards to change, are we going to see anything different practice-wise? What notable changes are going to happen live or online? And I just went off and I said, I can think of a million things that will change. Many small cap indie venues won't survive through this, which will affect smaller artists touring. There will probably be more depressed fees that are tied to hard ticket sales, which could further depress the EDM market because that's historically tied to soft sales or walk-ups when it comes to smaller venues. Live streaming will be a permanent fixture for artist brands. There will be more song debuts in digital spaces like Minecraft instead of on sites or publications. And also, where are all the live stream ticketing startup companies, because this is their moment?
Yeah, true.
Although I see some movement with LiveX Live. I feel like they've been a leader in this space.
What's LiveX Live?
They're putting together live stream events, but they gate them, and you actually do have to pay.
Yeah. My friend I'm quarantined with watched an Angel Olsen concert like that. She's a singer-songwriter who sold tickets and then gave like a one-way Zoom link and performed. And she was like the whole time kind of going, this is a little weird. I don't hear you guys responding. I don't know if you like this or you hate this, you know. And we're in the house going, we love it. Of course she can't hear us.
Yeah. No, it's interesting. I put up a tweet the other day, I don't know if you saw it, where I was asking what people would pay for.
Yes, I loved it.
And I was not pleased with the results.
Oh, do tell.
And I got hundreds and hundreds of votes. The question was, how do we support artists when they can't give you more time to play for free? What would you most likely pay for? And then if there's something that wasn't listed in the options, what else would you pay for? And then what's the most you would pay?
Right.
All things we need to examine. And the 4 options that I gave were a VIP activity or meet and greet, a ticketed stream concert, a subscription to an artist, or tip jar donations. And almost 700 votes later, it was almost evenly split between the 4.
Oh my God, no way.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. So it's kind of like you have to try every avenue possible right now and see what hits. I mean, I feel that exactly right now. Like, I'm got this thing going on Twitch, which I'm really excited about. I'm loving doing these. But I also have been talking about getting a portfolio website up forever and wanting to do some personal essays there. And then, like, maybe I start a Patreon. And, like, obviously I continue freelance writing, but publications are tightening their budgets every week, you know? So even as a writer, I'm feeling that, oh, well, I guess I'm just going to try this and this and this and this and throw a dart there.
Yeah, no, it's pretty wild. And I think that right now, because all of these platforms are new for people to try and build up an audience, they're not short-term fixes. People are not, if you're just starting your Twitch now or your Patreon now, that's not going to fill your coffers.
No, it's not. It's going to take time to build that road.
Yeah, so I've been trying to, I mean, this is a very traditional fix, but I've been trying to see what companies are at least paying for things, even if their sponsorship money has diminished, and get people just straight up paid for sets, at least during the festivals that I curate.
Talk to me about those festivals you're curating and the reality of these DJs playing these live stream festivals.
Yeah, so most of your faves are not getting paid for their time and their energy, which I think is something to really consider. There's a lot of expectation with getting this stuff for free, and also having the quality be good, which I think is really interesting. People get very frustrated sometimes when the frame rate drops or there's a lag, right? And it's like, man, we're all just trying to do this from our homes with the equipment that we have. And it sometimes it hurts to see people complain about this stuff when it's not perfect and everybody's just trying their best and doing it for free.
Yeah, exactly. And some people are like, why haven't you done a live stream yet? And I know some DJs don't even have turntables at home or like the gear that they need to do this.
So many don't. And so many just truly don't know how to set up the stuff. OBS is not a turnkey product, which is the software that you use so that you can actually broadcast to Twitch.
Using it right now. You guys can't see it, but I see it.
it can suck. It can be infuriating, and I've spent hours and hours walking different artists through their personal setups to get them ready to go and online. It's not as easy as it seems. If you see someone that has a successful, good-looking setup online and good quality audio, those people deserve a round of applause because it is not easy to do. And that's why we've seen a bunch of people like Insomniac build out spaces for people to go and do what they're used to doing, which is show up in a club with a USB and pop it in. Because a lot of people, as you rightly pointed out, don't have the gear themselves at home because this costs $6,000. What I have behind me.
Damn! I wish I could whistle.
I can't whistle either. So, there are certainly smaller controllers that you could get for $400 or $500 that would give you the same ish experience from Pioneer or another brand, but a lot of DJs don't invest in that. I don't know why. No. And now it's at the point where Pioneer is actually backordered on a lot of their lower tier controllers.
Yeah, damn, dude. It's the same thing with like webcams, and as soon as quarantine started, everyone just started buying up all the live stream stuff. Hopefully it hits its peak and kind of gets available again soon.
I've been webcam everywhere and cannot find one to save my life.
Dude, insane. I know. Okay, got a couple comments I want to shout out there. GPS says, it's wild that people will happily drop several $100s for a festival, but when it comes to supporting artists in other ways in these times, ... Like,
for real. But I have a little bit of a theory about that. And I think part of it is, if we're going to go, I think $100, $200 ticket, I can extrapolate that to a $5 ticket. I can make that analogy. So when you go to a club and it's a $5 or $10 cover, think about how many people are mad about paying $5 or $10.
Yeah, it happens. I've argued with people while throwing events. They're like, oh, but I don't know. Yo, it's $5. I put a party on. Come on.
Right. Yeah, and it's not that they can't afford the $5. It's the feeling of entitlement, or that they should have access to that for free. But also, it's crazy when you think about it. You're not paying $5 to see those DJs. That's part of what you're paying for. But surrounding that, what that cover fee gets you is an environment, right? It gets you access to a space that lets you escape. There's fog machines. There's maybe some pyro. There's lights and lasers and 500 other people that are interrupting and feeding into your stasis, right? And you have the luxury of going up to the bar and getting a beer for 3 times the market value, right?
Yeah, exactly. The luxury. A $12 Budweiser. Thank you.
Right. But these are all things that feed into that cover fee, right? So, and it's the same thing with a multi-$100 ticket for a festival. You're not really paying to see the acts. You are in part, but you're also paying for the experience of going to the festival, for having all these shared moments, for documenting that you were at a place and you did a thing, for the unexpectedness of going from stage to stage and having organic discovery or not really knowing what's going to come next. Yeah. And all of that is stripped away right now.
Yeah. Well, I hope that people do start to realize it's taking a lot of time and money for us to put these on. And hopefully they start subscribing and donating and tipping.
Yeah, and I also understand that artists are asking, yeah, of course, I think that art should be compensated. But it's also difficult because I know that artists are asking for money in a time when their fans probably have the least to give.
Exactly. Everyone's kind of feeling this pinch right now, and you're like, help maybe, but at the same time, I get it.
Yeah, and so I was trying to think. I was looking in the follow-up responses in that thread that I had mentioned with like the 700 votes, because a lot of people had a bunch of ideas about other things that you could do.
Yeah, what were some of them?
I'm trying to find them. Somebody brought up merch, and I actually don't think merch is a valuable thing to invest into right now, because at least when it comes to clothing merch, part of the reason why you buy it is so you can wear it and show it off.
True. Yeah. I'm just gonna like show off merch in my live stream. That's what we can do.
It's the same with pins, right? You wear the pins to events. So there's an element of showing it off, and that being a community piece of merchandise. Maybe I think collectors' items could be something if you're somebody that vinyl or other sorts of physical merchandise that would just never leave your house, really.
Yeah.
But somebody suggested Patreon for different services. I actually agree with, because you have more of an ability to finesse what the different tiers are and what gets unlocked with each tier.
Yeah, I know. I'm excited to give it a try. I just have to do a little bit more brainstorming, but support your favorite artists on Patreon.
Yeah, and then someone said a simple concept would be no more music charity donations, and instead have the audience be able to donate directly to a fund that is split between all the performing artists.
Oh yeah, I've often wondered why. Is that what's happening when you donate to something like Desert Hearts when they're having their stream or something like that? I mean, I don't know, and I'm not saying their name by saying anything. That's just what came to my mind. But
most festivals that I've seen, when people are donating to a fund, it's to a broader coronavirus fund.
Right. A lot of charities and things like that too.
I've struggled with this, because how can I ask people to perform for free or for a charity when they're the people that they're part of that group?
Exactly. Yeah. It's rough.
For a charity, and really they're the recipients. So that's something that I struggled with a lot. And why I got a sponsor for the next one.
Yeah, talk to me about that now. Talk to me about the festival that you're putting together, the network events that you've put together with bands in town in the past, and how you are answering that question with sponsors on your own end.
Yeah, so I started Network, which is a live stream festival in partnership with bands in town. Massive shout out to bands in town.
Follow them on Twitch. I do.
They're the best people to work with, honestly. I adore their whole team. They care so immensely about supporting up and coming acts, and when I was curating the festival, they really made it a point to say we don't want all A-list acts. Like, please do not book all the headliners. We want this to be diverse. We're here for the smaller acts and the big acts.
That's great.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's nice. But the reason why I did it to begin with, which honestly, if you know me, if you're my friend, you know that this is a really big deal, because I hate putting together events. I hate promoting. I hate it. And so for me to do this, it took a lot.
Yeah, but it's for such a great cause.
Yeah. Why I did it to begin with was because I was very tired of the fact that all of the live stream festivals that I saw happening around me were homogenous.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't understand why these lineups looked like exact replicas of the lineups that were happening in the real world if all these promoters were not making money on the shows.
Yeah.
They're offering these live stream festivals for free. Maybe, depending on their status, they get some sort of revenue, but they're not selling for tickets, and people are donating their time to perform, so there's inherently so much less risk associated with these shows.
Yeah, so, get creative, get experimental.
Right. So why are you booking the same 30 people? That did not compute to me. So I reached out to bands in town because they had a very robust and burgeoning Twitch presence, and they also have that new function where they send out push notifications for live stream concerts. So I wanted to have a partner where they already had a system that was baked in with Twitch that I could plug into. I didn't want to do this from scratch. I wanted a partner to support me with the efforts.
Yeah.
And so the whole point was that we would book a lineup that did not include any straight white men, but not call attention to it at all. And so we did that, and it was 12 hours long, and we were front page of Twitch. It was amazing. We had whipped cream. We had Sophie without the Tucker, and she
nice.
DJ'd, and it was great. And we had Cruella, who else? Varian, and
I was tuned in.
Candy,
Elefante.
They did a live set, yeah. And so they asked me to do a second one, but they said for the sake of their engineers, can we make it shorter than 12 hours? And said,
machines are smoking.
Yeah, and that happened last week. So the difference, we put in a functional difference between the first one and the second one, and that was the first one, all the tips went to music cares. This one, every artist had the option of putting the tips toward music cares or presenting a link so that people could donate directly to them through an avenue of choice like PayPal or Venmo. The problem is that if you're viewing on your phone, all of those links and everything that exists below the stream gets stripped out.
Totally. I've noticed that during my own streams, yeah.
So I don't even know how effective that is, but at least it gave some sort of an option. And that one we had Michael Brune, who's an amazing Haitian artist. The best house music. Gigi McGree, Jessica Onfred. If you don't know her, she's an insane producer from Mexico.
Hell yeah. I got to get on it.
She's so good. Henry Fong, who's the chillest. He was, oh my gosh, I was dying because his was probably one of my favorite sets. He got so excited about DJing, he accidentally knocked down his power cable.
Hell yeah. And we don't even need this power anymore.
So the sound totally went out, and everybody was like cheering him on and rooting for it because he got on the mic. It turned out he was just so excited about DJ. He was like, oh, I love playing like barefoot. I'm like in my living room. I'm not wearing shoes. And he got too excited about playing barefoot, and he knocked out the cable. And so everyone started calling themselves the Foot Gang. Yes.
It happens to everyone. I'm glad to hear it.
It was great. And I was like, this is exactly what live streaming is.
Yeah. It's rough. It's raw, baby. It's unscripted.
Exactly. It was great.
So what's with the next one? What's happening with the next one, Dani? When can we watch?
I can't give away too many details right now. I will say that we are going to keep to, I think for me, it's very, very important to stick to this ethos of diversity first.
Yes.
So we are going to have that, but there will be a fundamental difference, and there will be an added component of showcasing artists from different portions of the country. Yeah. So it'll be, here's somebody from the mountain region that comes from Denver, and here's somebody from the Pacific Northwest, and here's somebody from the East Coast, and somebody from Texas, and it'll be like a tour around the U.S.
I love that. That's such a really cool thing to do. And then, like, it could be fun because people can put on for their area and, like, teach you a little bit about what people are like, where they come from, what the music is from where they come from. That's fun.
Yeah. So I figured that was, like, a cool additional little level that I could put in. And we will have a sponsor for this one. And I can't say anything about that, unfortunately. I will say it is definitely surprising to me that even the companies that historically had so much money to give with music marketing are drying up.
Yeah.
And the budgets are being slashed by I gave what I thought was a very low ask for this festival, and they told me that was a stretch.
Damn, dude. It's because it's everywhere. The vice grip of coronavirus quarantine is very real, and it comes in waves. And even my boyfriend with a big boy business job feels it. So yeah.
But I am meeting the challenge, and I'm going to make sure we're going to figure out something that works for the brand and works for me and works for the artist, so that everyone gets a paycheck.
That's what's up, Dani. That's that energy from the 18th birthday party. Is I will not be vested by this. I will rise up. I will not pay that ticket. I will pay the DJs.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, think all of the donated time that people have put forth so far. It's crazy. I mean, even now, when I was talking to artists for the third Network Fest, and I said, I have a sponsor. I'm offering you a paid opportunity. And a couple of people said, oh, well, we just want to do something cool. We're fine with donating our time. And I said, I don't care if you don't need the money. You're taking the money.
Yeah.
Take the money.
Shout out. I love that. Thank you. Feed
right?
these people.
Well, historically, artists are bad about asking for money to begin with. But also, I think it's important that we just start setting these goalposts and create that normalcy again of we have to pay people for their time and for their creative effort.
Agreed.
Yeah. So.
Speaking of time, I've had you for quite a while, my love.
That's like our normal
I know! This is what happens. Thank you so much for everything that you're doing. I want everyone to know that they can learn more about the third upcoming Network Festival by going to your social accounts, which are at your name.
Literally.
On Twitter and Instagram.
All the places.
So is your Twitch, which everyone should go come and dance with me and the London lady on Sunday.
She better be there.
Yo, she has to be. And is there anything else that you want to share? I love, there was a lot of things I could have asked you. I love that our conversation kind of took this organic route to how the industry is reacting to everything going on. But are there any parting thoughts, any final words you'd like to impart with the world?
I feel like this is something I've been thinking about a lot, and I had a very long conversation with somebody today about it, but in the wake of everyone trying to figure out solutions to support portions of the industry online with these tools, please don't forget that there's an IRL component to the music industry that does not benefit from these tools, and try to donate where possible in your local city to save your stages and your local venues, because they are starting to close down. And I do not want to, here in Chicago, I don't want to come back to a scene that doesn't have the spy bars of the world and the sound bars and smart bars. And I want them all to survive.
I know. And on top of that, we're talking about bartenders, bouncers, club owners. It's so much bigger than people even realize,
Yeah, it's true. And a lot of people are still having trouble claiming unemployment because they're considered gig workers, like you're a bartender or a bouncer. But yeah, I think there are probably compiled resources out there, but I definitely feel for all of these more hidden portions of the industry that do not benefit from these amazing tools that help folks like you and me through these times.
100%. I was always a fan of tip your bartender before. Now I'm a fan of tip your bar, tip your bartender, tip your bouncer, tip everyone involved, tip your nightlife photographer, tip everyone if you can. I don't know.
Honestly, do you know how amazing the shittiest bar is going to be?
I know. It's going to be lit. I mean, we'll see whenever, like a year from now, when the vaccine comes, we're getting down.
Oh my gosh, I'm going to appreciate everything so much more when I go to a party. Same. I feel like I was desensitized, right? I needed so much stimulus when I went out.
Yeah. We're all going to be excited just to shake hands.
Yes. Exactly. I'm going to be excited to just sit at a bar with 10 people and play pool.
Right? You're gonna be so excited. You're gonna take a shot of Malort.
Don't even. Yeah.
Oh, Dani, I love you. Thank you so much for coming.
Of course. Anything for you.
We'll have to do it again because there's a million other things we could talk about. But thank you for coming.
Yeah, of course. I will see you for games later on.
Yes, you will. Let's play games. All right. All right, I'll see you.